Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's Eugene again here for another quick take video review for the brand new 2020 Christopher Nolan box office bonanza sci-fi thriller known as Tenet. Now for those who are not familiar or have been living under a rock wondering who the hell Christopher Nolan is, Christopher Nolan is the equivalent to the LeBron James, the Tom Brady, the John Cena for wrestling fans out there, of movie directors in Hollywood today. Christopher Nolan has had a slew of great films under his belt that include, and not limited to, Insomnia, The Prestige, Memento, The Dark Knight trilogy, Inception, Interstellar, and his recent work Dunkirk. And all of his works seem to be something that's very, very vast and very, I want to say challenging, but also thought-provoking in regards to the mind, the body, the spirit, the soul. It's very, very intricate in the way that not only he tells a story, but he really kind of expands on his themes. And his brand new film Tenet is no exception. It's been about 24 hours since my viewing of the movie Tenet. I got an early screening at the local Regal Cinema in the large IMAX theater. And I still don't know what the this movie is about. I will say right from the get-go, ladies and gentlemen, you are going to be lost in this film. Once again, this is a spoiler-free quick take. I will say that the main character in this film, played by John David Washington, who you might know is Denzel Washington's son, who plays a secret CIA operative that happens to be recruited by this special agency known as Tenet. And throughout his journey, you will see him undertake a mission that will lead him to an individual that leads him to a contraption, to this object, to this overall concept that really is baffling and will befuddle you once you get to know it. Throughout the movie, you will see a lot of action sequences and a lot of scenes that set up literally the premise of it that you will be confused the entire time for. But by the time you get to the big reveal, the big shock, if you will, then it'll kind of slowly unravel in your head like, oh, this is what's happening. But even as it unravels, you'll kind of be like, oh, what the heck is this? I'd be a liar if I said that I didn't have at one point or another in this film have a notion of scratching my head and scratching my eyes wondering, what the hell am I watching? In a good way, in some way. Like, it's not like it's pointless, hollowed action. It's actually, you know, there's actually some depth to it. There's actually some real clear, concise visioning to this. It's just a matter of quickly trying to connect things as soon as you see it. For some, you will be able to probably guess it. For others, such as myself, you'll probably need another viewing or two just to see what's going on. Regardless of all the, you know, mumbo jumbo and quirky and confusing at times, cerebral, challenging type of plot and storyline, I think overall Tenet presents itself as being a great sci-fi thriller action blockbuster movie. You do have great performances. As I mentioned, John David Washington, Robert Pattinson is in this film, who has a great performance in this. Actress Elizabeth Debicki, who plays the main female in this film, has a great role, as well as Kenneth Branagh. So if you are a big fan of Christopher Nolan, if you're a big fan of sci-fi and having films that challenge you both mentally, physically, psychologically, I think Tenet will be an interesting film for you to uphold. I think in some way, shape or form, it does require at least one or two viewings. I know myself, I'll probably have to see it again, but I'm not going to go immediately back to theaters to watch it. It was a great spectacle, don't get me wrong. The action was top-notch, awesome. It'll be a bit difficult to undertake, but I think you will appreciate this film at the end. My overall impression, I like the film. Baffling, befuddling, confusing at times, but it is interesting. It's very, very entertaining. It has great performances, it has great action sequences, and it's really large in scale, both in its story and its overall direction. I think anyone who's a fan of Nolan will definitely be happy to see this a part of his catalog. Any fan of sci-fi films, action films, you'll get a visual treat out of this. And anyone that wants to kind of, you know, take a deep dive into kind of the psyche of making this film, you will definitely have a blast watching this. But overall, it's good. It's enjoyable. If you do get lost in the first hour or so, you know, don't feel like, you know, you're dumb or anything. It is really challenging of a film. But I think at the end of it, it's something that you shouldn't really try to focus on understanding. You should just really focus on really basking in everything that's transpiring in front of your very eyes. So with that being said, Tenet is a good film. I don't know if it's the best of Nolan's films, but it's sure a good film for sure. It's something to behold in theaters, especially in the big IMAX screen at the marquee. So if you really want to see this, you want to see it in the biggest screen possible, go to your IMAX theaters, your local IMAX theaters, whatever's showing in the biggest screen possible with the best sound possible, and watch it there. So that's my quick take on Tenet. Hope anyone and everyone that wants to see this gets a chance to see it, if not now, soon. I don't know if I'm going to be doing a spoiler review for this in the foreseeable future, but if I do, it's going to require for me to watch at least 10 times to really kind of get a grasp of what I'm talking about. But until then, that's my quick take once again on Tenet. This is Eugene signing off for another quick take, and I'll see you guys again for another episode of Eugene Reviews very soon.